We've an army in disarray. Return to us, General.
So are you gonna tell me why you dress like that?
It's your funeral. I'm gonna kill you.
Is it? Oh, it's like Sixth Sense shit. That means I could jerk off wherever I want. Ah, la, 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 it's a semen market. So my name is Mike.
And my name is Kat.
Yes, it is, and you look spectacular, and I feel like I'm in a Tim Burton movie. And today we're reviewing God of War Ascension.
Or as I like to call it, God of War shit. I went to the midnight thing and I got the poster and I got my game. Got it at midnight, I played it. You remember last time we fucking reviewed God of War? Do you remember how much I loved it? Do you remember how excited I was? I did my makeup for it. I did my makeup for you!
You had sex with the disc.
Oh, Kratos. Now it's your turn.
Took my disc virginity.
So this is the first time multiplayer is introduced to the God of War.
I like the multiplayer. That is the only part of the game that I thought was good.
The modes are either you're playing with 2 people on a team,
Yeah.
4 versus, 8 versus, or you're playing alone, which is not really multiplayer. The way they integrated multiplayer in the campaign is Kratos briefly sees the Spartan soldier, and then mysteriously disappears, and you might have seen this in the demo.
Yep.
And I'm like, what? Scratch my head, where'd the guy go? I thought it was a glitch, but really, that is your character in the multiplayer world. Rotunda of Olympus, and that's where you set up your character, what he looks like.
And you decide like which god to pledge
that-
allegiance to, which
I thought it was a
decides
good
what powers
idea.
are, which is really cool.
Zeus, Poseidon,
Hades,
Hades.
and Aries. It was an interesting multiplayer. It wasn't like Tomb Raider where you're just like, oh, you called this in, man.
The multiplayer is really surprised with, and like 8 versus is
You
crazy.
can level up, of course.
Mhm.
And
Get new gear.
yeah,
purchase
get new gear,
and
which
armor.
is awesome.
When I started playing Capture the Flag and reading like how to play it, I'm like, oh, this is kind of silly. But then I played it, and it's like, wow, this is really fun. It actually works in the God of War franchise, and I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it.
I think they put most of their thought into the multiplayer, and
Yeah.
then they forgot about the campaign. Santa Monica, why?
Team Favor of the Gods is when 2 teams of 2 or 4. It's almost like King of the Hill, where you have to like capture different zones in the map. So let's get into single player campaign, Kat. The demo part of the game that we've already played before was awesome.
It was awesome, and that was my problem though. Don't give us a demo to play and have it be the beginning of the game, because then as soon as we start the game, instead of being like, oh, this is so cool, this is amazing, that's really cool, we're going, I just played this.
The part that they showed at E3 should have been the demo.
Yeah.
Where you start using the healing and
And the
decaying.
decay, which is really cool. That's one of the things that I liked about this game.
Yeah.
The healing and decaying was really cool.
But I noticed they took away like certain things I really liked about God of War 3, like, you know, hatching onto like the demon bats or whatever and like actually flying.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, you don't have like the weapons, the 4 weapons anymore, like the fists and everything. It's the blades, your blades change. So you have ice blades, fire blades,
thunder blades,
and
and
the,
demon blades.
demon
Like you
blades.
get souls.
Yeah.
Like, so it's all those 4 gods that you can pledge your allegiance to in the multiplayer.
I was never challenged to use one blade type.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if one was more powerful, like if it was a fire enemy, if fire was better for them or
Yeah.
ice was better to
Yeah,
them.
that's what I was
didn't really
thinking.
notice a difference. Each of the big magic moves, the rage moves, were really cool.
It's like when he goes,
Yeah. That was really neat.
and you gotta hit the buttons.
There were so many more boobs in this. Like, there were extra breasts in this.
They're
It's like
all
were
the
making up
same
for it.
size too.
Yeah.
But I noticed the jiggly parts of the boobs got better.
On the pro side, I mean, it is a beautiful game. It looks really nice. There were so many glitchy little parts of
Yeah,
it.
the Eyes of the Oracle, which shoots this big white light.
Yeah, and then it allows you to see through the lies. Have some chests that are faster to open, which is cool. You go
Yep.
like, ah! There were some cool bad guys. Like, there was like this green spidery kind of praying mantis lady. She
Remind
was
me
kinda
of
cool.
you when you had the acne on your...
Yeah. There was also this elephant guy that was kind of cool to fight.
I did notice that there
Is
was...
there cum on the... Oh, okay. No, it was just
Why
like...
do you always think there's cum on everything? I noticed that there's some weird audio glitches. Like the music would just cut out.
Yeah, I'd be
sound
like, dun,
effects
dun, dun, dun,
done.
dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 and you're just like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, it's always been very linear but so polished, and that's what I
So
love
polished, and
about
it was fun then, right? Kratos didn't have any weight. He just didn't seem heavy like he used to, and I don't know
Well, it's a prequel, Kat.
how that's
He's
changed.
younger.
He's younger.
Yes, it's a prequel. We didn't mention that, but it jumps all over. Like
All
2
over the
weeks
place.
later,
And there's, like, no-
present day.
oh my God.
Present day of what?
And there's just no story. Like, you start the game and you're like, you know what's happening, but you're not really sure why it's happening. 3 or 6 hours in, and then you got some more story. And then you're like, oh, okay. It was a weak story. I mean, usually they use a lot more of the mythology, and that's why I like it. I love Greek mythology. And they were weak on that.
As soon as I saw the bug come out of the tit, I'm like, Cat's not gonna like this.
There was texture popping as well as like 3D objects disappearing.
I didn't actually experience any of those.
There were a lot of parts where you're like running a very long distance.
Yeah.
And the camera is really far away and you can't see anything that's happened because you're so far away.
I agree with that. God of War's always been like that. Where it
I
gets
know it has.
But for some reason, it's like, wow, this is getting annoying. There wasn't as much Titan battles in this. I love Titan battles. I love climbing up an arm and taking care of business.
Well, the beginning of it makes you think it's going to be really cool, like shifting, really cool level design, and that didn't happen. There was also way too much hand-holding. There were way too many moments where it would pause and be like, you know, it takes the camera and it's like, it shows you the light.
And I think out of all the God of War games that I've played, I think this one has the most backtracking.
Yeah.
Which I don't think works that well in the franchise.
No. And there's this like skateboarding part, basically, where you're like sliding, and that happens far too often, and it's just not very good. It doesn't add anything to the game.
I thought that was cool. I like that.
Press X to jump over this gap. And you're like, no shit, I'm gonna press X.
Dumbass.
Obviously, I want to jump over this gap. I don't want to die and fall in the fire. Thanks for telling me.
Yeah.
Hold my hand a little longer.
Yeah. Fuck you, PS3.
The level up menu, it was so cool last time. It was a skull, and you filled a skull with blood, and it looked really nice. It was
Skull
a beautiful
fucker.
menu.
Yeah.
But now the menu is just like a plain black menu.
Even the load icon was better in the last one.
Yeah. And then there's a bunch of things where you have to like dodge, like you're fighting the bad guy and you dodge. And that's cool, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't really want to be boxing in this game. It's not really a boxing game.
Maybe you're getting old, Cat.
Kratos.
What do you give it out of 10?
God of War is dead to me. I want to give it a shit show just because I love the other games so badly, but it's not that bad. If you haven't played the other games, it's a decent game. It's just, honestly, I would just go buy God of War 3 and play that instead. Out of 10, I would give this game a 7. It was too glitchy, there wasn't any weight, it froze, the music came and went, the music wasn't as good as it used to be, the bad guys were all recycled, it held your hand the entire time, and I was bored, like I didn't want to play it. I'd rather watch some old episodes of TNG, like it was sad.
Or drink.
Or drink. A lot.
I still think it's a great game. Like, I give it an 8 out of 10. A lot of issues, like you said, I didn't experience objects just disappearing. I didn't experience
Oh my
that,
God.
so I can't give it that low of a score. But I still think the combat's challenging. I still think it's fun. And the fact that they pulled off the multiplayer is amazing
The
in this
multiplayer
franchise.
is really good, and that's why I'm giving it a 7
Yeah.
for the multiplayer
I was
and for the
really
beauty of this game.
I was really impressed. You get this
That's what
depressed at a 7 out of 10 game, I'd hate to see, like, what happens if this was, like, utter shit. You'd get really...
I'd get
You'd
mad.
quit.
I might quit.
Like life. You might have noticed I'm wearing 3KB merchandise.
Oh.
You can pick this up at the website Chop
Chop
Shop
Shop
Goods, link in the underbar. And we'd just like to thank Zach Kars for designing these illustrations
They were
of
wonderful.
us.
You did such a great job. Thank you, man.
The Asian
Sorry for not
me.
thanking you sooner.
Yeah, and the Depressed Jay, very well done. So thank you so much, Zach.
You're lovely.
You're lovely.
So lovely.
So lovely. You're really upset that you didn't get to have sex in it.
What the hell? Where was it? It was about to happen. You saw the scene. She's all like, let me show you pleasure.
You have to beat it on hard.
So hard. Also, the level up menu.